So, business owner ka and bigla ka nakatanggap ng subpoena from the NLRC asking you to come and meet with your employee. What does that mean and what do you do next? That is what we will be talking about in this episode.
Welcome to Legal Guide Philippines, where we simplify the law to help you
You,
make better choices. I'm Attorney Ramon Ramirez, and I'm with my partner.
Attorney Erwin Sagala.
And of course, with us today are our associates.
Attorney Dame Alfonso.
Attorney Mark Masigla.
Okay, so let's get started. Ang mahiwagang cup natin kung saan nakaipon yung mga frequently asked questions from our students, viewers, and clients.
Okay, so ako ang mamimili ngayon. Alright. Hey, bahin, ano naman natin? Okay, ito. Galing kay
Viewer.
viewer June R. Okay. What if I offered a settlement and the employee still filed the case? So parang ang tanong niya dito, nagkaroon yata sila ng problem or nagkaroon ng hindi pagkakaintindihan between employer and employee. Nagkaroon ng pagkakaayos, no? Parang settlement. Pag sinabi settlement, siguro may binigay na pera or whatever. Kaya lang, after nung settlement na yon, nagbigay na ng pera si employer.
Or possible na inalok pa lang.
Oo.
Parang hindi pa malinaw sa tanong kung nagkabigayan.
Okay. So baka inalok pa lang. Pero nagkaso pa rin si employee. So yun ang tanong ni June ngayon. So anong masasabi natin diyan, mga colleagues?
Okay, so ang batas natin is pro-settlement.
Okay.
Okay, what does that mean? There are multiple instances or chances para magkaroon ng settlement. So, ang first observation ko dyan, kung sakaling tinry na mag-settle between employer and employee, internally, nag-uusap sila within the company. Kung hindi nagkasundo doon sa pagkakataon na yon or stage na yon, don't worry, do not panic kasi even if may subpoena ka matanggap or mag-file ng case, there will be multiple chances to settle. At tinatawag natin doon ay
Mediation attorney.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, Attorney Dame?
Okay, so
May
yung
mediation na yan.
mediation or minsan tawag sa kanya conciliation, conference, iba-iba. Pero ang goal lang naman yan, kapag may nag-file po kasi usually ng complaint sa NLRC o DOLE.
Ibig sabihin, kaso na yan.
Kaso,
Oo,
opo.
kaso na
Pero
yan.
bago siya magtuloy-tuloy into a full-blown procedure, ipapatawag both parties ng hearing officer or ng labor arbiter para pag-ayusin. So, madaming, kuminsan one or two attempts para mag-ayos, minsan up to 3. Basta ang goal po kasi doon, hindi na umabot doon sa talagang kasuhan at maayos na.
So, I want to make a distinction. Yung initial phase is tama ka, Attorney Dame, mediation phase.
Yes.
Magkaiba yan sa arbitration phase. So, mediation and arbitration.
Iba pa pala yun.
Yes.
Okay.
Ano ang punto or purpose ng mediation? Ang purpose ng mediation ay para,
Pagbatiin yung parties.
yes, kung sakaling pwedeng magsang-ayon sila sa terms and conditions na acceptable sa isa't isa, or in other words, magkaroon ng settlement. Yan. So ang goal ng mediation, sana mapagsundo yung dalawang parties. So, ang nangyayari dyan, usually, Attorney Mark, di ba, may hearing officer. And then, ano ang sasabihin ng hearing officer?
Ang usual na tanong is, ano po ba ang offer ninyo? Or usually nagtatanong sila muna kay employee. Ano po ba yung problema? Yung sasabihin ng employee, okay, ma'am, sir, so tatanong niya dun sa ano po ba yung kaya kong i-offer ng employee? Kasi kunwari, ang hinihingi niya is, let's say, unpaid holiday pay. Pwedeng ang itatanong, magkano po ba yung holiday pay pa na dapat ibayad kay employee and kaya po bang bayaran natin ngayon? So kung may computation na naman si employer, pwedeng right there and then ibigay niya yung offer niya, and kung okay kay employee yun yung magiging part ng settlement.
So, I have a question. Kung sakaling nagkaayusan or nagkaroon ng agreement sa settlement, from your experience, anong ginagawa ng hearing officer?
Una-una, attorney, ilalagay yun dun sa minutes. And then after ma-record sa minutes, magpipirmahan sila ngayon nung tinatawag na quit claim. And yun yung magiging basehan nila na nasettle na yung situation.
So I have a question. Kunwari, first time nangyari sa akin to, business owner ako, nag-attend ako, and then nagkaayusan na right there and then. Wala akong quit claim, wala naman akong minutes. Saan kinukuha yung mga dokumento niya?
Sir, pwede nating i-request yan. Usually, yung minutes, sir, binibigay na agad ni mediating officer yan o ni labor arbiter kung kanino man napunta yung conciliation ninyo.
So, ang minutes, just to be clear, sa mga hindi nakakalam, yung minutes, ano ba yan? Ang pagkakaintindi ko dyan sa minutes is notes kung ano yung nangyari
Yes.
during yung hearing na yan or yung meeting na yan.
Yes, sir.
Kaya pag inutusan kayo, may inutusan sa inyo to take down ng minutes, hindi nyo lang lalagay 4 minutes, no? Notes yan kung ano yung napag-usapan, no? At
Minute by minute.
parang gano'n, kaya minutes ang tawag, no? So, so notes yun. So, yun ang sinasabi mo, na merong during a hearing, meron ding notes na kung
Yes,
ano yung
sir.
nangyari. Yan yung minutes.
Apo.
Okay.
Tapos, usually sa minutes, nilalagay din nila kung settlement reach, sinasabi din nila, no settlement was reached upon by the parties. Sinasabi naman yan sa minutes. Ngayon, let's say sa minutes nilagay settlement reach. And
Settlement reach, naabot nila yung settlement.
Apo.
Or nagka-settle sila.
nagkaroon sila ng settlement. Ngayon, syempre ang kulang or hindi nagawa is yung quit claim. Pwede naman, ang isang pwede natin gawin dyan is ipahabol. Kasi makikita naman dun sa minutes na binigay ni labor arbiter, nagka-agreehan na sila. Maganda din siguro kung sakali man kayo yung employer, i-specify nyo or ipa-specify nyo kay mediator or labor arbiter kung ano ba yung napag-usapan na settlement
Dun sa
minutes. Para at least nandun na, tapos kung kailangan mang ihabol na lang yung quit claim, yun lang din yung pagbabasihan natin, which is yung minutes nung meeting.
And to be clear, no, baka kasi hindi rin clear sa mga viewers sa akin, ano ba yung quit claim? No? So, quit claim, to be simple about it, ano lang siya, no? Dokumento lang, no? Dokumento lang na nagsasabi na, ops, nagkaayos na tayo. Wala na akong, pag natupad tong napag-usapan, wala na akong hahabulin pa. No? So, yun yung quit claim. No? Yun yung pinipirmahan nagkaroon ng settlement or pagkakaayos ng mga parties.
And after all of this, what is the ultimate document na dapat hinihintay natin? 'Di ba? Nagka-settle na, nagka-quit claim na. Ano yung ini-issue ng NLRC na papel na hinihintay natin to signify na tapos na talaga yung kaso?
Merong attorney na papel na nagsasabing terminated na yung case.
Yun. So that is the ultimate goal for settlement. Kasi the purpose for settling is para matapos na yung controversy, conflict, or gulo. So ito na yung proof na hinihintay ko after that.
Nice.
Okay. Ayun. So I think that answers the question. Anything else to add? Okay na kaya?
Parang na-cover naman po lahat.
Marami
I think we can move on to the next question.
Marami akong natutunan doon, attorneys. Thank you so much for that. Okay, next question tayo. Okay, ito tayo. Ako na naman ang tagakuha. Okay, this one is from Nicole B. Okay, now, am I automatically at fault just because an employee filed a case? Okay, so mukhang employer din tong si Nicole, no? Sabi niya, in case nagkaso yung employee niya, automatically ba at fault siya? So, anong masasabi natin dyan, mga attorney?
There's a floating conception out there na nako, pag dinoli ka and employer ka,
Lagot na.
automatically talo ka.
Oo.
Bakit? Kasi lagi naman pro-employee ang Department of Labor and Employment.
May ganun ngang misconception.
And I think yun yung pinagmumulan ng apprehension nitong
Ni Nicole.
question natin na parang hala, am I at fault? What do you guys think about that?
Akin, sir, hindi kaagad kayo at fault. Kasi much like sa regular courts natin, si NLRC, nag-work pa rin sila sa presumption na innocent until proven guilty. So, syempre, kailangan mo nang maintindihan ng court, which is NLRC, kung ano ba yung naging storya. And at the same time, based dun sa story, ano ba yung mga pruweba na pwede nating i-present para patunayan na hindi tayo nagkulang or hindi tayo yung may kasalanan.
Nice. Yeah, so guys, no, just to clarify, ang mechanism ng batas natin, okay, very very important nasa Bill of Rights natin, yung tinatawag nating due process. No? Ano ba yung due process? to be simple about it, ang ibig lang sabihin nun is the right to be heard. No? So kailangan na ibibigay natin yung panic natin. Ngayon, kung employer kayo at pinailan kayo ng kaso ng employee nyo for whatever reason, hindi po siya automatically paniniwalaan ng gobyerno, let's say in this case DOLE or whatever, no. Meron pa ring opportunity yung employer na mapakinggan and to present their own evidence na. So hindi automatically at fault. Tama ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay ba 'yon?
Yes.
Okay. So anything to add before I move on to our next question?
Ako lang,
Okay.
one last. DOLE or Department of Labor and Employment, by the title itself, obvious naman what it was instituted to protect.
To protect labor and employment.
However, that does not mean at the expense of employers.
Yes.
Okay? So,
Correct.
tama yung sinabi mo, Attorney Ramon, there's always due process.
Mhm.
So, do not go around believing na, ay, kapag nakatanggap ka na sa PINA, automatic talo ka kasi,
Kampi yung DOLE sa
Oo, there's always due process. Primarily, it is for the protection of workers, pero not at the expense of employers. They will always listen. So your job, actually, is to present your side in the most comprehensive and clear way
and convincing.
convincing way. That way, yung side mo is ma-air out and ma-consider.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Shall we move on to the next? Okay, let's go. Ito. This is from Tere. Hindi niya pinigay yung last name niya. Okay. Ito mukhang basic na basic. Oh. I just got a call or notice from DOLE or NLRC. What does this mean and what should I do first?
Okay. So let me just make a slight correction.
Oh,
Ang DOLE po, usually if there's a case filed, they don't call. It will be through the form of a subpoena. So it's a written document.
okay.
Now, calls come in sometimes if there's a labor inspection. Pero more often than not, it's also a notice.
Okay.
Very rarely yung calls.
So
Siguro
dapat mag-release ng text blast si DOLE na the DOLE never asks for your details.
I don't know. Baka there might be certain circumstances where that might be warranted. Pero from our experience, it's usually a letter or document that comes in.
Nice.
Ayun. So
What should Tere do first?
first off is do not panic.
Mhm.
Okay. So ito na yung moment Actually, can you imagine pag nakatanggap ang business owner, kita yung letterhead, Department of Labor and Employment. That's where panic sets in, especially kung baguhang kang negosyante.
Tama.
And this is your first time to receive it. So first thing is you have to realize that this is a call for mediation. Okay? Always mediation yan. Ang unang bagsak talaga ng DOLE will be pag-uusapin muna kayo. This is what we talked about being known as SENA. Yung SENA naman, it's one department within the NLRC. Ang ibig sabihin ng SENA is single entry approach.
Okay.
So kapag ang mga empleyado may hinaing or may complaint, single entry, dun lahat ang pasok nun. And once ma-lodge yung complaint sa SENA, yun na yung ipapatawag yung employer. Yun yung subpoena na matatanggap mo or notice to come to a hearing. Now, I want to ask, Attorney Dame, kung sakaling nakatanggap na sila ng subpoena, what are some of the things that they should take note of?
Okay, so kapag nakatanggap ka ng subpoena, employer, may kita mo din doon kung ano yung inireklamo ng empleyado. So, in that way, i-review mo yung contents ng subpoena. Unang-una, ano yung inireklamo para mapagandaan natin kung paano ba siya aayusin.
Sample, kunwari, sinulat doon, holiday pay, hindi daw siya bayad. Diba?
Yun. So, doon pa lang mapapagandaan mo na ano ba yung mga dokumentong pwede ko ipakita para ma-prove na, bayad naman ito. O kung may kulang man, ano yung mga pwede mong gawin para ma-resolve agad doon sa SENA pa lang.
Another sample is, kunwari, illegal dismissal daw. Diba?
Yeah.
Attorney Mark, ano naman yung mga dapat mong i-prepare na bago pa mag-hearing kung illegal dismissal yung claim?
Kung illegal dismissal ang claim, sir, ang kailangan natin i-prepare dyan is kailangan nating mag-prepare ng mga documents na makapagpatunay na dinaan natin sa tamang proseso yung pag-terminate kay employee.
Sample.
Ano ba yung tamang tamang proseso? You're fired! Ganon.
Ay, hindi po, sir. Kasi
Hindi ba yun?
usually, nagiging illegal dismissal yan.
Illegal dismissal.
Kung ganyan po, automatic. Kasi titignan
Yun na nakikita ko sa mga, sa mga pelikula eh.
Wala.
Siyempre,
Diba?
pag nasa pelikula, totoo yan. di ba?
You're fired!
You're fired.
Pwede ba yun? Pwede ba yun sa Pilipinas?
Sesante ka na.
Huwag ka nang bumalik!
Wag ka na bumalik.
Tama
So,
ba yan?
hindi po tama yun.
Okay.
Kasi, ang batas natin, merong, depende sa kung anong cause yung ginagamit natin to be correct din. Kasi may dalawang cause tayo. That would be authorized causes or just causes.
Mhm.
Ano yung authorized causes? Yung authorized causes, ina-allow ka or ino-authorize ka from the word itself. Ino-authorize ka ng batas na tanggalin si employee not because may kasalanan si employee but because merong kang in-install or meron kang
May
ginawa
mga sitwasyon that warrants, no?
warrants mo.
That allows na, okay, sa ganitong sitwasyon, pwede mo nang tanggalin.
Pwede mo nang tanggalin.
Okay.
So, kung authorized causes, usually dyan papasok. Kunwari, nag-install ka ng machinery
Mm-mm.
na nagsisave ng labor. Let's say,
Mm-mm. Machinery na naglalagay ng sticker.
Oo, sir.
Sticker.
Kunwari, let's say, yung usual, siguro naman iba nakapanood na ng Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Di ba yung isang eksena doon, sir?
English yan.
Siya yung, yung tatay ni Charlie, siya yung tagalagay nung cup ng toothpaste. Pero later on, natanggal siya sa trabaho kasi meron ng machine na yun yung ginagawa.
Okay.
So, under sa batas, kapag gano'n ng sitwasyon, pwede kang maalis as an employee. Provided, ire-report kay Dole na nag-install kami ng labor-saving device and 30 days prior sa pagkaka-terminate sa'yo, sinabihan both si Dole at si employee.
Okay.
Na
Okay.
due to
May
authorized
procedure na
causes.
pinapollow.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, yun yung dapat na masunod. Ano naman yung pangalawa? Yung pangalawa, yung just causes. Yung just causes, ito yung sinasabi na, ay, karapat-dapat ka lang tanggalin kasi sabi sa batas.
Dahil sa ginawa mo.
Dahil sa ginawa mo.
Okay.
Just or
Oo,
makatarungan.
Makatarungan ng pagtanggal sa'yo dahil sa mga ginawa mo. Ganon.
Sir.
Okay.
Ano yung mga, ano dyan? Isang paborito natin or isang madalas nating naririnig is yung ninakawan mo yung kumpanya o ninakawan ka ni employee. Di ba? Ang hirap naman nun, ninakawan ka na.
Obligado ka pa rin i-employ yan.
I-employ siya.
Ninakawan na.
Oo. Or kaya nga,
Sasabihan mo, no? Uy, pasok ka bukas pero wag ka na muna magnakaw, ha? Makakawa mo na, ubos na yung inventaryo natin.
Opo. Or parang ang nangyari, hindi ko siya matanggal dahil kailangan sundin ko to. Pero yun lang naman yung kailangan natin gawin. So, kailangan natin, sa just causes, ang hinahanap ng DOLE o ng NLRC is kung nasunod ba yung tinatawag na two-notice rule. Ano yung two-notice rule? Kasi kailangan, first, binigyan natin siya ng notice to explain or ng notice na i-explain niya yung sarili niya.
Okay. So may kasalanan ka, eto notice to explain. Please explain to us kung bakit hindi ka namin paparusahan or whatever.
Dapat tanggalin.
Dapat
Yes, sir.
tanggalin or whatever. No?
Opo.
Yun yung first notice.
Yun yung first notice.
Okay.
Tapos, in extension sa notice to explain, usually binibigyan din ng opportunity. Kasi yung notice to explain, yun po yung first opportunity ng employee na marinig or yung right to be heard.
Okay, good.
Diba? So, yung notice to explain, usually that's written. Nag-a-ask tayo na written. Ngayon, merong ginagawa yung ibang mga companies na ine-extend nila yan into a verbal or oral meeting. Yun yung conferences. Nagpapakol din ng conferences. It's an extension din ng right to be heard. Pero this time, instead na papel lang, in-extend pa natin to oral. Ngayon, let's say after ginawa mo yung notice to explain and nagawa mo yung conference, na-determine mo talaga na may kasalanan
Dapat siyang tanggalin.
Dapat siyang
Dahil
tanggalin.
mali talaga yung ginawa mo.
Doon napapasok.
Arumal-dumal.
Yes, sir. Doon napapasok yung pangalawang notice. Yung notice is notice of penalty. Again, penalty. Kasi ang problema ng iba, sinasabi, notice of termination. Kaya natin kinakorek na dapat penalty kasi hindi lang naman termination ng penalty. Kasi
Minsan, mga
minsan,
iba-iba.
baka suspension lang ang nagwawaran.
5 lashes.
5 lang.
Bawal ang latigo ha. Bawal ang latigo.
Or, mas magaan, reprimand.
Reprimand.
Diba?
Depende sa gravity ng kanyang offense. Pero kung katulad nga ng example natin, ito ay pagnanakaw, syempre, ang penalty mo dapat dyan is termination. So, pag nabigay natin yung dalawang notice to explain and notice of penalty, sufficient at mapresent natin kay DOLE or NLRC na, ay sir, dumaan po yan sa tamang proseso, ito po yung dalawang notice namin, sufficient na yun to prove na dumaan sa tamang proseso.
Attorney Mark, is it sufficient to claim na dumaan po yan ng due process?
Ay, hindi po sir. Doon po mapasok yung documentation is key.
Perfect.
Kasi, lagi, kumbaga, ang ano natin dyan is, madali kasing magsabi. Kumbaga, nagbo-boil down to he said, she said, yung term natin. Pero kung ako may sinabi, tas meron din akong piece of evidence, which is usually documentation, na nagpapatunay nung sinasabi ko, mas paniniwalaan tayo ngayon ni Dolly. Unlike kung talagang pure salita lang na, hindi, dumaan po yan sa proseso. Anong patunay ni Dole na dumaan nga siya sa proseso?
Kasi yung kalaban mo, yung empleyado, sasabihin na, hindi po dumaan yan.
Opo.
Diba? So, the burden is on you na hindi po dumaan yan kasi you're asserting a positive claim na ito nga, this is what happened.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, wow, thank you so much for that, attorneys. Shall we go to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, this is from Marie F. Okay. What are the most common violations that employers don't realize they're doing? So, ano yung mga most common violations ng employers na hindi nila alam na ginagawa nila? Anong masasabi niyo dyan, mga attorney?
Ako, three things come to mind. Number one, payroll. Minsan, kadalasan, pinag-uusapan dyan, may kulang sa binabayan. So, ano yung mga usual? Hindi po ako nabayaran ng
Holiday pay.
holiday pay, leave, SIL, service incentive leave. Pwede rin na 13th month.
Yes.
Kakagulo yan. Overtime.
Overtime.
Yan. So those are some of the things na usually na encounter natin. Ay, may dagdag pa. Minimum wage. Minsan na ina-assert yan na bulag. So, ang tip ko for employers to be able to avoid those kinds of situations is to avoid and manage is number one, alamin. There's a handbook issued by the Department of Labor and Employment. I think it's downloadable from the website. Diba?
Yes, sa DOLE website.
Ano yung title niya?
Haba.
Sa Bureau of
Mandatory handbook on statutory benefits.
Yes, it's a handbook. There's a whole section on pay na nandun yung mga sample computations. That's a perfect start to getting a grip on what are the mandatory amounts that you should be paying. The next part is, of course, alam mo na, you should retain proof that you have been paying properly. So, ano yung mga usual na paperwork na lumalabas dapat for that?
Payslip.
Payslip, pwedeng bank transfers, pwedeng internal audit documents showing na i-disburse ng maayos, and pwede rin na yung pinirmahan na receiving copy ng payslip usually that the proper amount was disbursed. So yun usually ang bulk ng mga nakikita natin na ng mga complaints na pumapasok. Another category is disciplinary cases.
Yun.
Yan.
Yan ang naisip ko rin eh. Disciplinary cases.
Dalawa usually yan na bulto. Number one is illegal dismissal and the other is constructive dismissal. What are the differences between the two?
Yung illegal dismissal, attorney, ang dami namang cases na may valid reason to terminate, pwedeng may just cause or authorized cause, pero hindi nasunod yung procedural due process. So, ang bagsak nun, illegal dismissal pa din. And,
So, to be clear, pwede naman sanang tanggalin yung
Opo.
empleyado. Kaya lang, hindi sinunod yung tamang proseso sa
Correct.
pagtanggal.
opo.
Okay?
Isa
Or
Oh.
pwede rin may parang subcategory yan eh. Wala naman talagang cause. Kumbaga sa substantial causes for
termination.
termination. It may have been fabricated or it might have been insufficient. But
Opo.
yun yung ginawang basis.
Opo. Pwedeng gano'n na walang valid cause pero terminate kompleto sa notices.
Yes.
Pwede pong gano'n. Ang constructive dismissal naman, pinagkaiba nito, hindi mo directly tinatanggal yung empleyado.
No.
Pero you leave him no choice but to resign or lumipat. Pwedeng nadidiscriminate siya, pwedeng binaba mo yung sahod niya ng walang dahilan, na-demote. So wala na siyang choice.
Tinatapon mo sa
Opo.
branch.
In-isolate mo, hindi mo
Oo.
binigyan ng trabaho. So, ano pang gagawin niya doon? Ang may isip na lang yan, lumipat na. So that's a form of constructive dismissal.
So guys, ano lang yun, ano? Those are examples of constructive dismissal. However, case-to-case basis yan, no? Yung pag-determine na something is constructive dismissal, please have a conversation with your with your legal professional para ma-determine nyo if something is constructive dismissal or hindi. Okay.
There's a third category na minsan, not as much sa mga complaints na natatanggap, but there have been times wherein there's a misclassification. Minsan akala nung independent contractor,
Opo.
ano sila, employee. So, syempre, mag-complain as an employee. So, those are some things that we also have to deal with, assuming it comes in as a complaint. Any comments on that?
Akin, sir, yung comment ko lang dyan, lagi nating specify sa kontrata ng mga employees natin kung ano bang classification nila as an employee. Kasi yun din ang unang tinitingnan ni Dole. Kasi kunwaring ang gusto natin is, eto pa lang si employee na to, ang gusto lang natin sa kanya is part-time lang siya. Kundi part-time, gusto lang natin siya as project-based employee. Hindi natin in-specify dun sa contract. Ang masakit, wala talagang nakasulat. Sinabi lang, hinire kita, ganyan. Baka mag-isipin kasi ng batas natin or ng DOLE, hinire natin siya automatically on a regular basis. To which, iba yung trato ngayon ng batas sa regular employee.
Iba yung expectations,
Yes.
iba yung requirements, and iba rin yung treatment for termination.
Doon papasok na dapat dokumentado lahat properly.
Attorney Mark, Attorney Dave, I'm seeing a pattern kasi regardless of which classification of complaint, ang pinaka-importante sa lahat is documentation.
Yes.
Nakatuhog din sa tatlo, di ba? All three, yung una is, di ba? Sandali, yung discipline, ano nga ba yung una? Payroll.
Payroll.
And then the third is yung misclassification. All of those could actually be solved with proper documentation. Ayun.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope naliwanagan kayo doon sa sa question natin 'yon. I will move on to the next, and this is our last question for the day. Can this so kumare nakatanggap si ma'am ng sulat from the DOLE. Can this affect my business registration, permits, or reputation? So may kaso sa DOLE, will this affect their business registration, permits, or reputation? Okay.
I'm seeing three angles here.
Okay.
So, kunwari, may kaso ka. Again, as we all know, there's a presumption of, kumbaga, innocence
Yes.
ng employer, di ba? Hindi naman porque nagkaroon ka ng kaso, that means na you're guilty or wala ka na pag-asa. However, there are three angles na kailangan mong bantayan dyan, which would actually encourage any reasonable business owner to pay attention to the case and try to end it or defend themselves ng maayos. First is permits or accreditations. There are some permits or accreditations which require a clearance from DOLE na wala kang kaso.
Okay.
Kunwari, gusto kitang tanggapin as a manpower agency or a company for recruitment. O sige nga, pakita mo sa akin na you're running a proper business, which is treating employees properly. Get me a certification from NLRC or DOLE that you have no pending cases in the agency. So that's one portion of that. Sometimes yung permit for accreditation pwedeng tamaan if they request that. Okay? The next is being a candidate for labor inspections.
Okay.
Kapag dumami kasi yung kaso mo, definitely lalabas at lalabas ka sa radar ng government. Na parang, sandali, bakit ang dami nagko-complain dito? And if that's the case, hindi po malabo that tataas yung probability that you might get a visit for an inspection from the DOLE. Kasi multiple cases basically show that there might be something that
Red flag siya.
needs to be adjusted in your systems. Diba? So, pwedeng tumaas yung chances that you get inspected or audited for labor violations. And the third naman na aspect na nakikita ko, it's a little bit more on the internal side. Ano ang sasabihin ng mga empleyado ninyo kung parang linggo-linggo na lang may bago kayong labor case? Diba? What message does it send to the employee pool? Parang, even for applicants, diba?
Yes.
And ang masakit pa dyan, minsan lumalabas sa Reddit yan or some of the forums. Kamusta magtrabaho sa kumpanya to? Especially if you're a big company. There's feedback that's bound to find itself onto the internet. And if you have multiple cases, hindi malayo. Uulamin ka sa mga forum. Any comments on these?
Sir, tsaka yung masakit doon, sir, minsan yung besides sa uulamin ka, minsan yung reputation din kasi ng company maapektuhan. Kasi paano nga naman pupunta yung employee kasi usually nire-research natin yung gusto nating pasukan eh.
That's true.
Titignan natin kung kamusta ba to as an employer. Usually ang mga consideration diyan, gaano ba kataas ang sahod, ano yung working hours,
Toxic ba?
toxic ba. Pero kung makikita pa lang kasi may mga features yung mga ibang job sites nakasulat doon. How is it tell us your experience working for this. Tapos puro negative yung makikita natin doon. Ang hirap nun, sir, paano ka kukuha ng pool? Lalo na kung kailangan mo. Kung lahat ng makikita ng mga possible o potential employees mo, negative.
True. And let me extend that, not just for employees na pwedeng mag-apply, also for clients, especially if it's a big contract. Hindi imposible na magba-background check ang kliyente ninyo sa inyo. And if they find multiple cases reported all throughout, then that might lower your chances of getting the business.
Tama.
Ayun. So those are the considerations that business owners have with regard to employees filing cases. For more resources, we actually have a couple of free downloads available and a couple of paid resources at our website at info.legalguy.ph/ask. Ayan. So that's it for our episode. So wasn't that simple?
Now go make better choices.